Come on. There we go.
Yeah, we should be on.
We should be on.
We should be up and running and on. And now we have to share it out so people know we're on.
Yes.
It'd help if you just hit the subscribe button.
True.
Just saying.
Or just go onto the YouTube channel for Enchantment Broadcasting, and throughout the week, just constantly, like every 10 minutes, hit the refresh button until you see the new show pop up.
Yeah, it's a little overkill.
One can hope. There we are.
Hopefully you all are having a good week.
Yeah.
We
had a great week last week.
We had an amazing night Saturday.
Yeah, it was so much fun. So yeah, we were playing as the Lowborn out at Picacho Peak on Saturday.
Yeah, and
the two of us in Truman.
I was really surprised. Okay, the first time we played and the place was packed, I was really surprised. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was really surprised. Well, here we are again. The place was really busy. People were amazingly receptive to us.
Mm-hmm. Now, to be honest, I was nervous.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't that nervous until we got there, and there was virtually nobody.
Yeah, that's true. As we were setting up, there was like 2 people sitting there.
And we started playing. We had one of our friends that came out, that she comes out whenever we play. And that was about it. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of those nights. And then people start trickling in, and everybody that comes in is excited, and they're already kind of loud and rowdy, and talking about, we came here to see you guys. And it's like, oh, thank God.
I mean, yeah, like, you did? Oh, yeah, well, thank you. I mean, that was my first record. You did? But that is, it turned out to be just an absolutely fantastic night. We drank a lot that night.
Oh yeah. It was a little strange because we don't normally experience that here in Las Cruces. For the most part, people come out, they listen to you, and then they do their thing and go home.
But we're a different type of music and different type of group because we try to engage the crowd a lot. And so we went. Dave, the owner, he was great, or not the manager. I think he's just great, taking good care of us. And we had a night. We were doing so good. I mean, to me, this is a really big sign when you finish a song and one of the people there walks up and hands us shots.
Yeah,
that was cool to me, because to me that means that's another level of she's having fun and wanted it was great.
Oh yeah.
It meant a lot. The gesture meant more than, the shot was great, but the gesture was just, to me, just absolutely wonderful.
Right.
And they were engaged, and we did Rattling Bog, and that place was loud.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was loud. I loved it, to the point where we did it again later, and it was even louder.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow. Because that's the song we want everybody to sing with us on. And oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
Well, I also had a little bit of an ego boost moment, because one of the songs that we did was the original that I wrote. And I was like, I don't know how people are going to react to this, and everybody went nuts.
They loved it.
Wow.
It was really, that's one of those songs that you wrote because you had it in you to. There was a purpose to it. There was something that, and it was great. Everybody loved it. We enjoyed playing it.
Well, it's something that I've been thinking about. Wouldn't it be cool? And we've been talking about doing some stuff that I was like, this would be a good idea. Because we've been talking about doing things like getting involved more with promoting Picacho Peak.
Yeah.
And promoting it as the Lowborn. And I was like, wouldn't it be great if we had some background music we could play, and we wouldn't have to worry about copyright because it's ours?
Yeah, and that's what we did. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And that was great, because we had a rehearsal last Wednesday or Wednesday before. And he said, hey, I want you guys to listen to this. And he kind of like let me know what you think. It's okay if you don't want to. And Truman and I are looking and going, Yeah, man, let's do that again. How do I, yeah, give me a copy of that. We wanted to play that.
Yeah.
We were going to play that song because we liked it. It was ours, so we were, and sure enough, everybody loved it.
Yeah. It's a little bit pandery. It's,
Yeah.
it's one of those songs we've actually got our name in it. And I was like, why the hell not? It's not rocket science, and it's not, it's nothing personal to a point that it's about what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
I was able to leave that behind, which I couldn't
yes,
have done.
This was a fun song. That's
Yeah.
all it was. A fun song that you wrote for us.
Mhm.
And it was a departure for you.
That is true. Which
But-
I'm going back to that stuff, so it's
there-
still there.
I remember being at a open mic, and everybody was just, for some reason, everybody just got up there and played their original songs, which became, and it was really cool. It was just one of those nights where that's what everybody was doing.
Yeah.
My wife looked and goes, "What is it about everybody in the depressing songs?"
Well, there's only a few things you can that you write about. So
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great night. We had fun. Dave was very happy. I think Xavier was happy.
Oh God, yeah. He was having a blast. Xavier's the owner
Yeah.
over there. I was watching him. He was having fun. It wasn't just a case of, people are in here and they're drinking and they're buying food and they're having fun. He was into it as
Yeah.
well. And
I still don't remember which one he is.
I've had more dealings.
Apparently, he came up and shook my hand and said, "Thanks, it was a great night." And I don't remember which one he.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had more dealings with him than any of y'all
Yeah.
have. Yeah, he's a real nice guy. I didn't know who he was either. I thought he was somebody else for
Yeah.
a long time there until I actually met him, because I'd heard the name and that was it. But once he started coming around, they're real nice over there anyway. And man, it was a fun night. If you and you come out to open mic on a Thursday night,
Yeah.
if not, come out some other night to Picacho Peak, because they've just added to their drink menu, and that's what was. Yeah, we kind of lost our minds a little bit because we
Yeah.
got to try. They're carrying new liquors over there, and the big two. There's a guy out of Deming that
Mhm.
they're working with. He came in, says, I've got this stuff I'm looking to sell. I don't know if you'd be interested, but check it out. And he makes out of Deming rum. Nobody makes rum out here,
No.
but there were two.
And he got my attention with rum because Puerto Rican, it's a law. You
Oh,
drink
yeah.
rum, it's a law.
Yeah. And that's, I've developed a taste for whiskey,
Yeah.
but rum is my go-to.
Oh yeah.
And one of them, oh man, it's a coconut rum that we put a few back, and I was very proud of Truman. He even put a few back
Yeah.
and stayed on his feet.
Yeah.
He wasn't sure if he could do that much, but he
Yeah.
was stayed on his feet.
It was really good. There was one that was a coconut rum.
Yeah.
And
I love the coconut rum. It didn't taste syrupy.
right. It didn't have that overwhelming coconut flavor to it. And it was because I was like, okay, I'm going to try this because he wants me to. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Very impressed. And then there was another one.
It was a cinnamon rum.
Yes, the cinnamon, not a fireball rum, but a cinnamon rum.
Yeah.
Because it was just
It
enough
tasted a
cinnamon.
lot like it tasted like a fireball.
Yeah. It tasted like cinnamon. It wasn't that it's so much cinnamon that it was hot. It was enough to really it was amazing. I was really impressed. It was some good stuff. And then of course, when they found out, and we're of course telling everybody about it because, hey, we just tried this. You guys got to try it. And a couple come up and to have us enjoy it with them. So it was a good night. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I was able to stand it.
Yeah. Well,
It was great. So thank you to all that came out. And if you missed it, don't worry, we'll be doing it again
in August. Yeah.
And look, I'm already looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun.
It was a blast, and we had some people that had never come out, never heard us before, and by the time it was all said and done, oh my God, the people that were brand new, it was like they'd been inducted into this family.
Yeah, it was like they came over and all of a sudden they're acting like they've known us forever. and that was a beautiful thing. There was just a it was a great atmosphere, and I don't know. I have a feeling. I really believe that it has a lot to do with the type of music we were doing. There's something different about this Irish music that we're doing that is just it's inviting, it's fun, it's different, very
Yeah.
different.
Well, and we've gotten into it. Of course, I was already into it, but you guys had
Yeah.
never really been exposed to it, other than in a movie you might
I
have heard
had
something.
madrigal experience, so it was more like 11th century. A lot of that 11th century music I
Right.
did,
It
but it
was
was more the
European, but
English,
different sort of
more
European. Yeah.
more the English stuff.
Yeah.
This stuff is similar, but it's got that different feel to it, and
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I've really enjoyed it, and then to the point where I've already like picked 3 songs that we do.
Oh yeah.
It was like the first one was the Wellerman, and I said, I messaged him and I said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he's like, "Oh, dude, you're hooked." And then I just found another one yesterday, so it's just
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, and like I was telling you before it went on the air, one of my favorite Irish bands, the High Kings, have released a new album as
Yeah.
of a couple of days ago, and it's got some really cool stuff. I was like, maybe we should look at some of that, because I think they do a lot of the older music, but they also do their own original stuff
Yeah.
too. And there's some good stuff on this.
And it's here's the thing now. Spotify, Amazon Unlimited, you have these subscriptions that you buy, so people get paid, but you get to listen to anything you want. It is so easy to pull up the music. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
it's like a legal Napster, but it's fantastic because now all I have to do is go in and, pull it up and I'll
Mhm.
listen to it, because I put a playlist together and on Spotify, and it was really cool because I put 4 songs on there so that I could play it. Well, I didn't hit the repeat button, so it just kept playing music similar to that. And that's when I'm sitting there going, and I let it go because it was just song after song. And it was just so cool to listen to all this. There was so much of this Irish shanty out there.
Yeah.
I could not believe the amount. It's like I'm still like song after song coming up. So that was a lot. And that's why I think it's going to be our new song. If we'll see how what Truman thinks of it. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be really cool. And the cool thing about it is that once somebody picks the lead part, the other guys just have to learn a couple lines and then they're done
Oh yeah.
for the whole song.
Mhm. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Yeah, we had one song that we did that Truman wanted to sing. He really likes it,
Yeah.
but he was like, he'd only learned, he found a version of it that he was learning from and only had 2 of the 3 verses. So he's like, I don't know about that third verse. I was like, how about if I sing the third verse? Okay, let's do that. So he sings the first 2 verses and I can hear him. He's kind of looking over my shoulder while he's playing, and he starts singing along, not into the mic, but into my ear. I was like, yeah, other than a couple of words, this.
Yeah.
So
That's
I think he'll be taking that completely over, which is going to be cool. He's like, dude, I sing the lion's share of stuff lead, and that was not really my intention. I didn't want this to be like my thing, but the thing is, it doesn't feel that way. No matter who's doing lead, it's like we're all in it together.
Yeah, and
that's fun.
The important thing is that we're all going to have fun with this.
Oh yeah.
And if someone's not having fun with this, we have to address that. And yeah, you're leading a lot of it because there's times where I'm having just as much fun playing and backing you up as I am leading.
Oh yeah.
Some songs I don't want to lead. I
Right.
am having way more fun with it playing and backing you up.
Well, and most of the acapella stuff, and you kept saying that.
Oh,
Says, you're going to sing lead on this? I was like, no, you're singing lead on this.
Like, oh, I am.
Dude.
And then but I'm loving it. I
Mhm.
am loving that because it's taking me back to those days of the madrigal days. And
Yeah. Well,
it's
and I've got my selfish reasons too, because it's only partially, you're better at the lead on those, I think, but it's also I really want to sing the bass line.
Yes.
And you can't sing the bass line on lead.
No, you can't. But that is cool because when you hear that and you hear that coming in, it's just like the first time you did it, it gave me a chill. I was like, holy crap, this is gonna be good. There's that feeling you get when I remember the first band I was in, we were doing a song and the guys were trying to do a harmony with me, and we were getting it. It was getting close. And then one rehearsal, he nailed it, and I got this chill, like feeling in my chest.
Mhm.
It was like, and I looked over at the bass player. I said, "Okay, we got that one right." And he goes, "You felt it too, right?" Like,
Oh yeah.
it
Mm.
was it's fun. It's great.
But yeah, yeah, I think it's coming
Yeah.
together pretty good. And I talked to you guys about it. It looks like you're pretty well on board with this. I want to see us do something different every time we play. Add
Yeah.
something new.
Try to add something new, yeah.
Whether it be a new song or we're doing something dynamically different, just kind of keep upgrading and getting better.
Yeah, because that one lady we have coming in, she's gonna get bored. I mean,
Oh, I
we
don't think
have
she
someone that
can.
has seen us both times, and then she's also there. She was there the first time.
Mhm.
Can't remember her name. It just escapes me every time, and she's gonna be so mad at me when she hears that. The hilarious part was the first time we played, she was sitting off to the side because I guess she had seen, her and her husband had seen that we were playing Irish music, and they wanted to come hear it.
Mhm.
I'm like, here's a song that you probably haven't seen. And I, Rattling Bog, and I look over and she is singing right along with me.
oh yeah.
I was like, hello.
So that was me being me. I've gotten pretty good. I'm not great at certain aspects of the whole professional performer.
Yeah.
One of the things that I still have issues with, and it's like is the whole you owe us money for this, let's get that taken care of. That's always been difficult for me to do.
Yeah.
But the self promotion and the group promotion, I'm pretty good at.
Oh yeah.
So she actually, her and her husband came out to the first brunch that I played at.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I was talking to her about, we were talking about music because we were, she's right there with me. I'm doing a
Right.
bunch of older country and she's loving it. And we got to talking, and I mentioned the band. She's like, I love Irish music. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
maybe they'll show up, maybe they won't. Yeah, then they start showing up to open mic occasionally.
Yeah.
And
And she was having fun with that.
yeah, she puts us on the calendar. She shared, her husband's a long haul trucker, so
So yeah, she needs to get out and
yeah,
venture out a little bit, because otherwise she'll hole up and wait for her husband to get home. So
yeah. So when he's home, they come out together. Otherwise, she
Yeah.
comes out by herself. And yeah, she put it on the calendar for Lowborn. Says this date is set aside and we cannot do anything else.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm going to be on the road. Says, well, I'm going to be at the bar. By the way, her name is Amelia.
Yeah, Amelia. Okay.
She's
Sorry.
just awesome.
She and her energy is just so much fun. So
Hey, Samantha just commented. Says, good morning, you guys.
oh, there she is.
Can't stay long. Got a final to do soon, but drinking my coffee and watching for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Well, good morning, Sam. I hope you're doing well.
Yes.
She
is like in the midst of the finals and exams, and
Oh,
my gosh, that is
she works her butt off.
Yeah.
It's awesome to watch.
so. Hats off to you, girl.
But yeah, I gotta get back a hold with Dallas. We got to do some more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, he's busy this weekend.
but no, yeah, this was just a huge blast.
Yeah, it was so much fun, and I like to consider myself more of an entertainer than just a musician. And that was the fact that everybody was engaged and having fun. That was the real charge from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, by the way, Samantha, while you're still on here,
Mhm.
just so you and Dallas know, whenever I see y'all again, I have a new toy to show off that Dallas is going to lose his mind. I have a new instrument.
You
We-
got it.
We kind of got into this whole thing where we started going back and forth about our weird instruments that we have, and I showed him something on my wish list. Well, I probably should have been smart and not done anything as far as spending any money yet.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
One of those things you had to have.
yeah, and it's cool. It's very cool.
Look at her comment.
Oh my God! Yes, it is a screaming one. I now have an Aztec death whistle. In fact, you know what? Hold on a second.
You
I'll be right
have
back.
to. He has to. I
Oh,
mean,
Oh, it's
you
gotta be
can't.
worse than that.
Yeah. when you get into the realm of a musician and the different instruments, there is an unbelievable depth that these things go to that have been used in different situations. And oh god,
Okay.
and once he hears it, Dallas is gonna like, how can we use that?
Oh, no. Not even hearing it, just knowing about it. He's wanting to put it into something. So here's the thing. I'm going to freak you out because I'm not going to play it. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh man. So what do? Just blow into it?
You just blow into it. It's just a whistle. How creepy is that, man? Oh, she just wrote yay. It's creepy sounding, isn't it? Okay. Okay, we've just lost BJ.
Oh my god! All I can think right at this point is why?
Why not?
Oh my gosh!
Tell me that's not the most unique thing you've ever heard.
Just when you thought you heard it all. Oh I thought you were hitting another level with the electric kazoo.
Oh, you have no idea. I've been playing with it because we have some people that come out to shows. Sam just wrote keeping BJ on his toes. I don't think you can see it that clearly on the camera view. No. He just turned red.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, I never I never heard anything like that. I'm trying to tie my shoes. I just realized I still haven't done that. I've already tripped. I've already stepped on my laces just sitting here. So.
Yeah. No, it's kind of a cool little thing, but oh yeah, I'll be bringing out that next time that we start working on music.
You gotta bring that Thursday night. See, don't even tell anybody about it. See what happens. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got that in, and actually, Truman the night before had borrowed a ladder to work on his air conditioner.
Yeah.
I got that all taken care of. He brought the ladder back, and I says, "Check out what I got." And he says, "Oh," and he says, "What's it sound like?" And I says, "Here," and I had him blow it. He blows this thing. He saw, says, "Dude," says, "That's terrifying." I was like, "I know."
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's a blast. So I'm like, yeah, Dallas is pretty well set that we're going to be doing a music video
cool.
to go along with the album when it gets closer.
Very cool.
And I was like, yeah, we could use that in the video. That would be awesome. But yeah, we'll see what's going on. Yeah, I think you'll get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Already, apparently, we've made Sam's morning. So
yeah, there we go.
I love you, girl. I miss y'all.
Oh man.
I know that. I know that y'all have been real busy, so we haven't gotten around to finishing the next song. So, and then of course, once we record that song, we've got other stuff to put onto the other stuff to finish it out. But we're getting closer.
It's a process, and you got to be patient with it.
Yeah,
it's like you want it done right there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this next song because it's going to be you and Truman are going to be coming in and doing some recording for it too.
Work that through. So yeah, I think that's the reason I haven't started mine, because I know me. I'm going to be like, okay, that's good enough. Then let's do it later. It's like, no, it's not. I did that. I did record one, and I went, okay, that'll be fine. And I went to the next one, and then later on listened to it, and went, oh, geez, never mind.
Well, yeah, I can't wait for you to see the way Dallas approaches this stuff, because he's damn good.
I think he's got a thing as a producer.
So, oh yeah,
judging from his first attempt, I was blown away.
Oh yeah,
we did get to hear his first the first song that he did for you. And I don't know. I guess he let you listen to it to see, how he's doing it so that you'll, yeah,
Mhm.
he's on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the thing is, now I'm listening to music a little bit differently.
Yeah.
There's a new song that just came out a few days ago. Apparently, there's a new album coming out called Rockstar. Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah.
The first song they've released is her singing Magic Man with Ann Wilson. By the way, I was listening to the lead guitar part in it. That's definitely Nancy Wilson. Nobody plays like
Really?
her. Oh yeah. And Dolly sounds great.
Oh yeah.
She sounds great with Ann Wilson. But as I'm listening to it, it's like, this isn't as clear as something Dallas would do.
No.
The mix it's not off, but it is off. The instrumentation is washing out Dolly's voice a little bit at certain points. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have that problem with Dallas because, I'm just amazed at the amount of work that he puts into it and how good he's got it down. Yeah, this guy needs to be a sound engineer, at least in this town. And he actually does the job more of an engineer and a producer all at once.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely a producer because of what you described and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. The only thing he doesn't do is mastering, but he's got a guy. So I'll be going through his guy, and we'll get that all finished up. And David over at Picacho Peak has already talked about we're going to do a release party over there.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
And I want it to be a little different than any other release party because release parties in this town have gotten kind of boring, a little bit lame. Hey, it's a release party. I'm going to get up and play some songs from the album. That's it. Well, I want to get some friends up to do some stuff.
Yeah, make it. It's almost going to be an open mic.
Yeah, make
the
it
way
fun.
Said, it's going to be an open mic. Yeah, we're going to play your music, but you want other people to go up there. It's like because you're not having this. By the way, it's about me, and me.
Oh yeah, and I've already said there's a band because they can play for about an hour. Is all. There's a band that I want to come out, and you've heard them before.
Oh yeah,
Blue Wind. They're so awesome. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to them and see if they'll come out and play because I think they will. Especially since the lead guitarist for Blue Wind is my barber.
Oh yeah,
and I've actually got to go see him because this stuff is getting too long in the front. Although I'm liking this length, and I've been asked by a few people how much longer you're going to let it get. Well, I was looking through. HBO Max is now Max, and I was looking through their movie list. Well, they got a whole section of westerns. I was like, "Ooh, I've never seen these listed here before." And there's some westerns I'd never heard of.
Oh,
and there's some westerns from the late '90s that I was like, I haven't seen this in forever. And a bunch of them were westerns starring Willie Nelson.
Oh,
and I was looking at the length on his hair. I was like, I could do that. I could pull off that look.
Oh man, it's been a long time. So I've actually got to trim mine, but the problem is that I have like 6 people that I'm supposed to go see because you work at Sally's and just come and see me. Oh, okay. I got like 6 people now that I got to go see. But
I had to laugh a little bit because we were talking about this. Because in my mind, I look at you and I was like, yeah, my hair's not quite as long as BJ's. And I was like, wait a minute. And we kind of went back to back and realized that your hair is long all the way around.
Yeah.
But my hair is actually longer than yours at this point. I was like, I don't know when that happened.
I don't know. Well, I did trim because I hadn't trimmed mine in like 6 or 8 months.
Yeah. And you did have a trim, so I was catching up a little more because of that.
I used to want it down to I had it down to the middle of my back, and I was happy, all one length, and I was loving that. I did have fun with that for a while, but not anymore. I do want to keep it long, but like to my shoulders. So there is one girl, like I said, I have 6 people that want me to come and see because you keep meeting them. But I had one that when I said I got to get my hair trimmed, she just she looked at me, and the look she gave me was like she has an idea of what she wants to do, and I'm looking at her and I know that look. I'm like, I think she's the one I'm going to go see. So yeah. So yeah.
The one thing you'll never see me do is I will never do a man bun. There's no way.
I'm thinking if you ever see me with a man bun, call the cops because I've been drugged and I've been like hijacked or did something you don't know, or just shoot me. I had somebody say, "Oh, you should do a man bun." I'm like, no.
No.
And then, why not? No, not gonna happen. I pull my hair back. That I'll do. I do that all the time. I have to do it when I have to do it when I ride because the wind gets a hold of it, and oh my gosh, that was not fun trying to brush that out.
See, there's one musician, a singer and a musician that I've heard that I will give him a pass on the man bun.
Yeah.
He's and I forget the guy's name right off the bat, but he plays for, and we were playing some of the music after we finished the other night from Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox. It's a group. They basically take modern songs and then they change them up. And this one guy, white guy, his hair comes down to about here, but it's also frizzed out.
Oh.
And I don't think it's because he got a perm or anything. I think it's just the way the hair is.
Yeah, it's his hair.
So it's out of control. And when he's performing, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when he's singing, he just puts it on a big man bun up top. I was like, okay, that makes sense. He's just getting it out of his way.
And Samantha, you guys are crazy. It's too hot for long hair. I put mine up all the time so I don't die. My wife is doing that too. My wife's hair got really long, and then of course she had a little bit of trouble. I taught English. I got it.
Yeah.
And I've been married for 20 years. I'm able to decipher these things.
Yeah, Sam messed up a few words in her post, so she writes back, says, "I can't English this morning." Dude, we're on the show and we can't English most days. So, but no, actually, I did a car show here a few weeks back, and at one point, I made it through the car show, but after I got done with that and I got back to the house, I ponytailed my hair. Yeah. I was like, no, I need this off of my neck. It was killing me.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't do it then is because I didn't have anything with me to tie it.
Yeah. You start learning to carry something every day.
True.
I pull my hair back when I ride because I don't want to get messed up. But yesterday I left for work. It was 104. I wanted to ride. I've been driving the car all week. I wanted to ride. And I have a new jacket. It's a mesh jacket. So basically wind goes right through it. It's just got the, protective gear. And I was feeling like somebody stuck a hairdryer in my face because this thing was like, it was hot air coming through the jacket. I was like, oh my gosh. And last night when I left, it was still like 95. It was like 9 o'clock. It was still over 90. And that felt better.
Oh, yeah.
But the jacket's really cool because it is nice and cool. I can imagine. Because I wasn't sweating really bad. It's just felt warm. Like the heat this time of year
be a bit much.
Yeah, is insane. Luckily, by next week we're down below 100.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've been happy. I've been doing a few car shows.
Yeah.
I don't DJ as much as I used to, but I will do it for the car shows because most of them they're for charity events, charity groups, and I'll always support them. And I grew up around the car guys.
Yeah.
That was my thing. Was car shows. My dad's been a hot rodder his whole life, and so I was raised around that. One of the women that I've known for years, the first car show this season that I did, she comes up behind me, taps me on the shoulder, and makes a joke about my hair, which is fine, except I turn around. This is an older lady. Mm-hmm. And I turn around, and she has dyed her hair purple. I was like, yeah, you got no room to talk.
That's funny.
So, although I have resisted, I every time that the Lowborn plays, I've got a box of hair dye. I keep thinking about using.
I know.
It's very green.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be green. I knew it was going to be green. Okay. I will be impressed to see.
I may have to streak it or something one of these days just to do that. But I don't know. For the most part, it's not bothering me heat wise, but you got to be careful with this stuff.
Yeah. It is. It's that time of year. My wife's hair got really long because she just kept putting it up.
Yeah.
She works at home, so she doesn't care. She puts it up, and then she all of a sudden she realized that it's down past the middle of her back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at first she's like, I gotta get a haircut. It's getting too long, and now all of a sudden she's like, I don't want to cut it now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had mine way long at one point. I mean, down to about here, so which was cool. Except I don't remember what it was. I know what it was. I would wake up in the morning and I'd go to get up out of bed and I was laying on my hair and couldn't move. I'd be, can't we get loose?
That's funny.
Oh, Patty's Day is over, she says. Patty's
not for
Patty's Day
him.
is never over.
Not for him.
All I need is another shot of whiskey, and Patty's Day is right back on. But
Oh my gosh.
no, I had my hair long for the longest time, and then I was like, I'm tired of this. So I just started. I would do my hair myself because it was real easy. I'd run a buzzer over the thing,
Yeah,
and yeah, I had. That's the way you met me, was with that.
that's right.
That
You had
tight-
very short hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then just one day I was like, you know what? It was during the pandemic. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't get out to get my hair cut anyway. And I was like, I'm kind of liking the length. Maybe I need to just let it go a little more. So I
It's
just
really
kept
funny.
going.
We I work at Sally's Beauty Supply. It's been very, very busy. Because you think people like, because of the economy and everything, people are like not spending money on things like that. But the thing is, they're not spending money on a hairdresser. They're coming to do it themselves.
Right.
There are some people that when we explain everything, they're like, yeah, never mind. But then there are some like, I got to try it. So we help them with a color that if they totally screw it up, it won't be that noticeable. Then
Yeah.
they can go into, and it can be addicting. Doing your own hair and doing your own, it can be addicting. So it's like, it's fun. I like it.
And Sam just wrote, no green hair. Well, I tell you what, no green hair, at least until after we finished all the visual stuff for this album.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that won't fit the aesthetic that we're going for.
No.
Who knows? Maybe a future album, maybe. But this one is going to be really somber visually. Because it's pretty somber song-wise.
Yeah, they're.
I've got a couple of happier songs, and I was like, yeah, we're not doing those. They don't fit. So everything's pretty well got a feel. And
I'm just proud of you that you have a couple happy songs.
oh, she says green fades gross. You won't like how it fades. Actually,
yeah.
I did have the last time I colored my hair. I colored it with this emerald color from Splat, and it was a cool color. I liked it better when it faded.
Oh, really?
Oh God, it almost looked like a natural color. It went almost gunmetal.
Oh,
It was kind of
that's
cool.
weird.
It was a cool look. I was like, ooh, I kind of like this. Yeah, well, it was still at its greenest, however.
Mhm.
Like I say, I've grown up around the Hot Rod Society here in this area, and one of the car clubs that I've DJ'd their show in Deming. Their president out there, a good friend of mine that I've known for years and years. I also knew his wife for years and years. His wife died suddenly. It was a pretty quick thing, and like a couple of days later, they said, "Okay, here's the funeral." Crap, my hair's green. I don't have enough time to change hair color and make it to the funeral.
Wow.
So my dad was going. I went with my dad, and we actually piled into a car with a couple of friends of ours, older couple, who they're gone now as well. But it's a memory I will always remember because he came out, and we're sitting there talking, getting ready to go. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get Hazel, and you guys go ahead and get in the car. So he'd seen me, and he was just like, yeah, whatever. He was pretty laid back, but yeah, we got in the car and went to take off, and she gets in the car and she's talking to us, and she turns around to say something, and she says whatever I don't remember what she was saying. It wasn't that important, but she says it. She turns back around, and there's just a minute of silence, and she turns back around and looks at me and says, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
One of those. I'm not gonna say it.
Now I was,
And then like I have to say it.
now I was uncomfortable. I was a little uncomfortable. I was like, man, I don't want him to think that I'm making light of things.
Oh, it's funny.
But I got there, and this poor guy, he was devastated.
Mhm.
His wife was his world,
Oh,
and he was having a really hard time of it. And I got there, and everybody's saying hi to him, and he comes up to me, and he's shaking my hand. He looks at my hair, and he just starts laughing, and he gives me a big hug. He says, "That's the best thing. I needed this today." So I
that's
was like, okay.
that's funny. That is good. You never know when you're gonna be that person. That's cool. Yeah, she says you're almost done with the album.
Yeah.
She might have an insight that you.
She has a lot of insight. So there are 3 people who know my music intimately well now.
Mhm.
I'm one of them because I wrote it.
Yeah.
Dallas is another because he's going through all this stuff. He's going through it a bunch. and then the other is Sam because she's hearing this.
Yeah, because I'm guessing there's a lot of times where he's going, "Come here and listen to this."
Oh yeah. Well, and the thing is, she's walking by and listening too.
Yeah, that's true.
So and she's been incredibly sweet.
That is great.
About the whole thing. I love this family. They're great people. I think the world of them. But yeah. So yeah, we're getting closer and closer to that. Oh, she keeps commenting. I'm gonna have to bring the screen a little closer at some point. Oh, Haley, yeah, their daughter Haley. So she has them memorized, stuck at our head.
Oh gosh, that is so adorable.
Okay, I apologize for that.
I love that.
Yeah, they're about as goofy as I am. Yeah, Dallas actually did photos this last Halloween. Yeah, he was dressing up as Jason from the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
Let me get it right.
And hanging out and just going around randomly around town.
Yeah, he's kind of a horror fan,
yeah.
And we've talked about that before because there's different types of horror fans, and we're kind of similar there. Michael Myers,
yeah.
Jason, Michael Myers. I get them mixed up. I knew I was going to get it wrong.
I have no clue because
the slasher movies are not really my strong suit. My ex, that's her big thing, and she's actually going off to in about a week or so, week and a half, and she's going to be going to a con where she gets to meet Kane Hodder and Freddy. God. Robert Englund.
Yeah, we were chatting with her this morning and she mentioned the name I don't know how many times and I still don't remember.
Love Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing I ever saw Robert Englund, and he was a cute little alien dude in V when that was on TV. And then he comes out and he's playing Freddy. Yeah. I was like, oh, and he's so good at it. But these people are nuts.
Yeah.
And they fit with the people that I've surrounded myself with. Most of the people I've surrounded myself with are a little crazy.
Yeah.
So sorry, that means you too, but
I'm one of them.
I got a story up. May have to try going back to Taco Bell. They are adding some menu items from the 90s. This is kind of interesting. Remember the volcano menu? Volcano taco, double beef volcano burrito. Yeah. They're bringing them back. Volcano taco will be $2.49. The double beef volcano burrito will be $3.99, and they're going to have the volcano sauce, so you can add volcano sauce to any menu item for an extra $1.
That's cool.
So we'll see how that goes over.
Yeah, I remember those. I never tried them, but I remember them.
I'm very happy they actually brought back the Mexican pizza.
Yes.
They have yet to bring back the tostadas, but you got to do what you got to do.
My wife was very happy.
But it's not my favorite thing. I love a good taco. I love a bad taco. So Taco Bell fits that.
It's like,
Taco Bell's not a great taco.
We moved out here, and after about a month of trying different Mexican restaurants, we're like, how does Taco Bell survive out here?
Because they're corporate and they used to be cheap. I mean, God, you could eat there for virtually nothing. And it's still a case late night when you've been out drinking. That's the people in line at the drive-thru.
It's busy.
Yeah.
My wife and I was one night. It wasn't that long ago. We were up. It was late. She got hungry. So at 12:30, I'm at Taco Bell, and I was not the only one there.
No. One of my best memories was doing a late night DJ gig that after we got done, and it's getting close to morning, we were up there because Taco Bell has always been open late. We were like, they're closing shortly. So we're in line and the line's moving slow. And there's this woman like 3 cars back, obviously completely drunk. At one point, all we hear, because we got our windows down, apparently she stuck her head out the window. All we hear is her saying, "For the love of God, it's my birthday. I just want a chalupa." It's like, okay, it's one of those nights.
Oh my God.
Um,
Nothing good happens after midnight.
But no, there's been a few
Yeah.
of these tacos around town. I've actually really gotten into the tacos that go from Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Ice T actually put out a post yesterday on Twitter. He says this may not be popular, but I love Jack in the Box tacos, and no, I don't know what's in them, and no, I don't care. It's like, amen, brother.
Yep, that's it.
That's our favorite. We love that fake cheese. Yeah. Top chefs in the world voted Taco Bell as the best fast food.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah.
However, I gotta say, you ever go to eat in El Paso at Chico's Tacos? Chico's Tacos took a downgrade, in my opinion, for a while because they started using real cheese.
Oh.
They went back to that cheap cheese, and the taste went back up. I was like, oh yeah. But if you want some interesting tacos, every Tuesday at Picacho Peak Brewery,
Yes,
they're doing Taco Tuesday.
But-
And this upcoming Tuesday, for next week, they are going to be hosting Del Sol Barbecue. They'll be serving brisket tacos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they just put this up. Smoked brisket tacos, pulled pork tacos, chicken tacos, smoked rib tacos. All meats available as sandwiches as well. Yeah, that's Taco Tuesday. Oh, you smart ass. I mentioned the Peak. Now he's using the Peak.
Yeah.
I think that's a good short name for the thing. So it sounds cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Peak.
We first moved out here and they said, oh, you got to go to Taco Tuesday. And I'm like, okay. And then we started going to Pepe's, which is great. Then we went to a couple of other places and there was a barbecue place that one place on the Amador Loman split that it was Jake's Cafe recently. Before that, it was a barbecue place and they had Taco Tuesday barbecue brisket, pulled pork chicken. Oh, I remember my wife and I ate one. My wife looks at me and goes, this is wrong. They were so good. The guy comes up and goes, how are you? She goes, this is wrong. And he goes, oh, can we get you more? She goes, yes, I don't need them. I'm full. I want 2 more. It's like you couldn't stop. They were so amazing.
Oh yeah.
And it was very simple. All they did was put the meat on there in the tortilla, and that was it. But that's all you needed. It was so great.
Oh yeah.
Places out here, man. It's like I'll never forget. My wife went to Missouri after we'd been out here a while, ate Mexican food here, went to the place that we always went to back in Missouri. Can't eat there no more.
Yeah.
She went there and she said it was awful. And the kids were like, oh, it's the same as it's always been. She's like, this is awful.
Oh yeah. Well, my poor sister, she's living in Austin, and apparently she's been in Austin way too long because she has to be careful with hot stuff because she doesn't handle it like she used to. They have a Mexican restaurant out there in Austin.
Yeah.
That she that her and her husband go to. And last time that I was out there with them, we went to eat there. And they were so proud of themselves.
Yeah.
They had signs everywhere in this place. We have Hatch Green Chili. And we got there. It's like, yeah. And the guy's talking, yeah, we got Hatch Green Chili. He says, I love this stuff, but just be aware, it's hot. He says, I can't stop eating it, but I end up just sweating like crazy because it's so hot. Okay, Snacky, let's see what you got. And we had to bring us out some queso with the chili in it. Yeah, they were doing the mild from Hatch, which means you could tell it had that taste. It was real good with the taste. Just like, yeah, there's no heat, dude. You wouldn't like the stuff that I've cooked with. I actually cooked a dish at one point that I sent a friend of mine to the hospital. Well, he did. It was his own fault. He wouldn't stop eating it. And I was using the La Sombra double X hot chili.
Yeah.
That stuff you got to be careful with. It will hurt you. It was good, but man, it's hot.
When we were in Missouri, I got the taste for jalapenos. Now I get there was a CC's Pizza out there, and they used to have the pepperoni jalapeno pizza, and I just get it there. But I take the jalapenos off because the juice from the jalapenos had gotten into it, so I was able to tolerate that. come out here, we get introduced to green chili because we're like, okay, we're now here. We got to try this.
Oh yeah.
My wife was addicted.
Hmm.
I loved it to the point where now I leave the jalapeno. I got a jalapeno pepperoni pizza the other day, and I ate it like it was no problem. I have no problem with jalapenos now.
Yeah.
Green chilies, there's a couple places I cannot eat at because it's a little too much. But now it's like green chili, yeah. Si senor, when they're green chili con carne, oh my gosh, we go right to that.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, we used to have an Irish style pub here in town.
Yeah.
Orion's, and you could get their nachos, which they had the extra large pizza plate.
Yeah.
They'd fill it up.
Oh my god.
Like this tall. And one of the things they'd put on them, their beer was only good for one thing: cooking. Horrible beer to drink.
Oh.
But for cooking, it was real good. And they would take green chili slices, and they would beer batter, dip them, and fry them. I was like, yeah, I kind of need to do that again.
That's cool.
It was so good.
Yeah, the food out here is just totally different. I'm so happy. California, I lived in a place that was pretty good, but
it's not the same anywhere else.
Nowhere else. There was a Mexican restaurant I really liked because it was a family from Mexico, and they got a lot of their stuff sent from Mexico to cook with. It was really good. A lot of people loved it there, and that was back in Thousand Oaks, California. And I'm here. Here, it's like I can't go anywhere else. It's like now I'm looking around. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Thank you, Sam. She just wrote, "Bless you." Hey, I was quick. We don't have a sneeze button, but I do have an off button on my mic. So,
Samantha saying we moved here for the green chili. People think we're nuts. No, we get you.
Oh no,
we get you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because yeah.
See, and you go anywhere else, you will find people who've been out here. Because all it takes is one little comment, and people are like, "Oh, I remember."
Yeah. See, I'm Puerto Rican, and in Puerto Rican food, it's not real spicy. It's got spice.
It's a
flavored spice.
Yeah, it's very different.
It's a flavored spice, not a hot. We're not about hot, and so I learned that. So coming out here, wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I found, and it's not just out here because I've done a little bit of traveling, not huge amounts, but I used to have a shirt that I would wear. I got it from Chico's Tacos for one of their anniversaries, and I was wearing the shirt. I had to stop wearing the shirt. I was pissing people off because as soon as they would see the shirt, anybody who'd ever been to Chico's, we'd be like, damn it. Now we got to make a trip.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's okay if it was cruises, but if I was like out of town and wearing it, I'd have people just like, man, we hurt and we can't go there. So.
Okay. Samantha just says, I'm Japanese. Wasabi is as good as it gets. Kimchi too. Okay.
That's a different level of
I've heard enough stories about wasabi that I'm not coming near it. I've heard enough stories about that.
It's not bad, but for me, I wasn't raised around those tastes, so they're a little odd for me.
It's fun. I remember the Jason Newsted story from when he joined Metallica, and they were hazing him basically, and they went to a sushi place, and they go, "Oh, hey, try some of that mint sauce. Just put it on there." So he puts it on there. It was wasabi, and he's crying. So.
Yeah, I've never had that reaction. It's not been like, oh, that's really hot. It's like that's strange.
Hold on.
It says fries the nostrils.
Yes, yes. There was like the one Mexican restaurant I went to. They said they had a mild salsa, and it you get enough of it, it would clear my sinuses.
Oh yeah.
So now that we've gotten each other basically now we're hungry.
Yeah.
We got off on a tangent there.
We sure did. And we really haven't talked about much.
No.
But I think the main thing that's been on both of our minds has been our playing as the Lowborn.
Riding that high. And then I got to perform the next day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. Luckily, in a vintage, it was outside. It was 104 degrees, but they had their misters going. So it was really nice.
And their misses. What?
Nothing. And because my wife went and she sat and she was comfortable the whole day. And then David Michael from used to be from the Broken Owls came out, and apparently he was working on maybe putting something together. He came out to hear us, And now he wants to get his new band started like yesterday.
Yeah.
Because when he talked to me, he said, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to put something together. I'm kind of thinking about doing." And it would sound like it was just in the thought process. Yeah, after talking to him then that night, I guess he got jazzed up because that night he was talking about he wanted it yesterday. So
Yeah.
so I'm glad because he is just an amazing musician. He's a great guy, and the Broken Owls was a great band. They were fun, and so sorry to hear that they didn't, you know, survive it. But if he puts something else together, it's going to be great.
So I'm looking up something right now.
Okay.
Sam just asked when we're playing again.
Oh yeah,
because I know that she's they haven't been able to come out to Picacho for a bit, and I know that she wants to because there's a salad there that she loves.
Salad. Sorry.
You know that stuff you put on top of your burger.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. End of June. That's when we just played.
Yeah, that's right. I got to make sure I got that on my calendar, so that I got to make sure I get the day off.
August is when we're playing next.
Yeah, I don't have it on mine, so.
I don't remember. I'll have to bring it up next week because I've got it written down, but it's in the other room. But yeah, we're definitely playing in August, and I think we're probably going to see some more dates get offered to us from Picacho Peak. I think we did a good job of impressing them over there this time, because the first time we played, neither David nor Xavier were there, and this time they were both able to be there, and it was fun. And they got to see what we're doing. And it's like,
that was,
and it was consistent. I was like, oh God, did we have one really good show and now it's going to go, nobody's going to be interested? No, everybody was,
it's funny. There weren't quite as many people as the first time, but it was louder.
Yeah.
Everybody was engaged, which was great. That was a lot of fun.
So yeah. Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do you get ready to tell us what's going on this week?
Yeah.
I can't read that from here.
I gotcha.
What'd she say?
Oh. Okay, we'll just let you play chords for a little bit. She says, I missed it. And a sad face says, Dallas has been playing it and working a lot. He really has.
Yeah, he has been.
She's cool. Message me later. I'll listen to BJ play, and then I gotta. She's gotta hit her thing.
She got back to it.
She's gotta get to work. So, yeah, I'll definitely send y'all a message. I gotta send you one anyway because you put something in my head. I gotta put in your head because it's only fair to screw with you since you messed me up for like a week.
It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. It's been a while since I first saw you. It's been a while since I could stand on my own 2 feet again. It's been a while since I could call you. And everything I can't remember, as messed up as it all may seem, the consequences that I render, I stress myself beyond my means. It's been a while since I couldn't say that I wasn't addicted. And it's been a while since I couldn't say I love myself as well as. And it's been a while since I've gone and messed things up just like I always do. And it's been a while, but all that stuff seems to disappear when I'm with you. And everything I can remember, as messed up as it all may seem, the consequences that I've rendered, I stretch myself beyond my means. Why must I feel this way? Just make this go away. Just one more peaceful day. And it's been a while since I could look at myself straight. It's been a while since I said I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've seen the way the candles light your face. It's been a while, but I can still remember just the way you taste. And everything I can remember, messed up as it all may seem to be, I know it's fair. I cannot blame this on my father. He did the best he could for me. It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. And it's been a while since I said I'm sorry.
Cool, man.
I was thinking about my dad lately. I played that song for my dad when he came out last night. He really liked it. So I just remember my dad every time I play that one. So
Samantha just wrote, says, have a good show, guys. Glad I could razz y'all a bit this morning. You're always welcome,
that's
girl.
fun.
He says, good job, BJ.
Thank you. You got this, girl. Go to it.
All right, hang in there, and I'll see y'all soon. Hopefully,
Yeah.
y'all take care.
All
Okay,
right.
so what do we got going on?
What do we got
going on? What do we got going on?
I don't think I'm playing this weekend because, I got to check nowadays.
So let's start right off the bat.
Yeah.
Of course, open mic at
Yes.
Picacho Peak on Thursday, as usual.
Yep.
Today at 6:00 at Truth or Consequences Brewery here in town, Ali Shea is doing her second open mic.
Yes.
She does it the last Wednesday of every month, and this is the second one that she's done. So you get a chance to come out to that. She's going to be theming the thing every time. I don't know about this. She's already sent me a message. She wants me to come out. She says, basically what she wants to do is have people talk a little bit about where they come from musically.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's really cool.
My story's a little low.
It's a neat idea. It's a neat idea. I like the way she's doing this. She's got a great. She's running with it. I like it.
And she's been doing a good job. Of course, only one show so far, but man, it feels like her.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the big thing. It doesn't feel like, oh, I watch these open mics and this is the way that they're done, so this is the way I'm going to do it. No. She's making this hers.
Yeah.
And it feels like her. So I love that about it. Because she's got a different take than anyone else.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get into this thing where it's like, let's do something cookie cutter because we know what works for people. You know what works for people is going to a place where they feel comfortable. And she does that really well. So yeah, you get a chance to go out there. She's at TRC Brewing here in Las Cruces tonight, starting at 6:00. And I'm definitely grabbing my guitar and heading out.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So
that'll be fun.
I'm probably gonna carry my little Black Beauty.
Yes.
I brought the 12-string last month, and one of the guys that we've talked about, Hawk, was out there, and he was just blown away by my guitar. He was talking about, you sound so good, and I love your guitar. And I says, do you want to mess with it? Because I do that. And he says, oh no, I couldn't possibly play something like that. I wouldn't mind seeing it close up. And I was like, oh. he's where I was. He
Yeah.
doesn't know what a 12 string is. So I was
Yeah.
like, there was a part of me was like, well, I could keep telling him that, it's just really difficult to play. You have to learn this whole new thing.
No.
But I was like, I can't do that to the guy. So I explained to him what it was. And he starts messing with it. He's like, ooh, I like this. I want one of these. It's like, okay, there we go.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a fun night. Tony Montano is going to be playing at Rio Grande Winery this Sunday at 2 o'clock. No, at 4 o'clock. The 2nd, but it's at 4 o'clock. July 2nd. Oh my God.
Already there, huh?
Time is running away from us, and time is running away from me because, yeah, next week is my birthday.
Oh, okay. That
yeah.
snuck up on us.
Oh, it doesn't snuck up on me because I've been paying so much attention to calendars, but with the gigging, and I've been working with people to get my stuff on the schedules as well as the lowborn, which man, that's something else when you're trying to get people on the schedule. We got 3 different people who have their own schedules, and you're trying to get stuff done. But the nice thing is, you guys have been real quick about responding whenever I've come up to talk to somebody about gigging and setting up dates. So that's really helped. Jimmy O'Hara is going to be playing out at NM Vintage this Saturday at 7:30. Stepping Up is going to be back at Rio Grande Winery this Friday at 6 o'clock. Really cool band, really cool guys. It's an older band doing oldies.
That's
and
cool.
They've got a great sound.
Very cool.
Rio Grande Winery this Saturday at 6. Line 5. All classic country and rock and roll hits. That's all it says about them. I don't know who that is, but man, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
DH Lacombe this Friday at 6 p.m. Chris Baker is going to be playing out there. Friday at 7:30 at Amara Winery. I'm glad to see them playing because they haven't been doing much. CWI out in the Long Hairs.
Yes.
And they're always awesome.
Yeah. Got to get out there and see Red and Dwight again.
Oh God. Well, you know where BJ is going to be tomorrow night, 7 to 10. Yeah, Bosky Brewing Company is having Swifties Night Out. Oh, I know you're a Swiftie. Don't even hide it.
What's that?
For the first time in Las Cruces, gather your Swiftie squad and join us and fellow Swifties for Swifties Night Out, Taylor Swift Night.
Oh, heck no. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, starts at 7 p.m., $5 tickets to get in. Groups, it's highly recommended that one member of your group purchase everyone's ticket in one transaction to ensure that you will all be seated together. Enjoy specially themed cocktails while singing along to Taylor's music through the eras. T-Swift games and activities will be provided throughout the night, including trivia that you can earn special prizes. Hit up the Swiftie selfie station. Fuji Instax provided.
You all have fun with that.
Cheer on your favorite look through our Through the Eras costume/fit contest. The winner will receive a T-Swift gift basket, including a $50 Bosky gift card. Tickets will be verified at will call the night of the event. No one under the age of 21 will be admitted without a parent or legal guardian. It is still a bar.
So you have
a brewery.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, that's going to be an outstanding night. So that sounds really cool.
So you're saying you're not going to be able to make it?
No, because I'll be at open mic at Picacho.
There you go.
So I'll be there,
and I'll be there because I'm working it. Otherwise,
you're running it. So
I'd put on my Taylor Swift outfit and my wig and maybe not.
Although I will say her commercials that she's doing, they're actually really cute.
I actually, there's some stuff coming out about her that I've been gaining a lot of respect for her, and I don't hate her music.
I'm just not a fan of that style, so it's not.
She does have one song that I absolutely love. She released here a few years back a murder ballad that's really good.
Oh wow,
really strong. I was like, okay, cool. See, when we're doing the show. Partway through the show, the Centerport 10 Theater is doing their free summer kids movie. So, so this week and it just started a few minutes ago. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Oh,
cool. Well,
it is. I don't know.
I wish they would show what's coming later because I'd talk about what's coming next week so people
Yeah.
could have some advance. But
Yeah.
no, it's not going on. Board
be
game night at Bosky Brewing Company today at 6.
Cool.
Like I say, I'm going to be at open mic over there at
Yeah.
TRC Brewing though. Um, Rio Grande Winery. Tonight at 7, they're doing trivia night. It's all Disney.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. Amara Winery tomorrow, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
The Broken Owls. I would call Amaro and find out.
Because they're no longer.
Yeah, they're no longer
I
together.
Wonder if that
so
was put up and not taken down.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, or maybe they're gonna follow through because they got booked for it. I don't know. But last I heard, they're not around.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna mention to David. You guys know you're playing tomorrow? I have David on here, so I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. This Friday at 7 p.m. over at Grounded, that's on the downtown mall. Dallas David Ochoa is going to be playing. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure where exactly Grounded is. I've got to get out there and check that place out anyway.
It's right there on Main Street. We passed it when we were walking around the mall, the farmers market.
Right. Dallas is awesome anyway. He's so much fun to watch play. And the last time that I was out with him, it's become a thing. And I keep telling him, you don't have to. He's like, oh, it's a tradition now. We're doing it. So he has me come out whenever he's playing at TRC Brewing for the Sunday mimosa brunch, and he has me play a little bit. Well, I played a little bit, and then he got up and played some more, and he played one of my songs, Haunted. Totally different than the way that I play it, and it was awesome.
That's cool.
Absolutely awesome. So yeah, there's that going on. Yeah, he's a blast. Oh my God. Today at 6:15 p.m. if you want to go see a movie, by the way, Telstar 12, the Movies We Love film series, they're going to be playing the 2007 Hairspray.
Oh, wow.
Very cool movie. I actually tend to prefer the original. It's weird and kooky. And I like weird and kooky, but it's still a damn good movie. Real good music.
Yeah.
Hell of a cast.
Yeah. They always do. They always do. No matter what version you get or what play, they always have a great cast.
Oh yeah.
They
Queen
really
Latifah is starring in this version, and John Travolta is starring as the main character's mom.
Yeah, that is a role that's always a man dressed.
Yeah, it's always a drag queen.
Always a drag. It's always done in drag. It's just
and he did a real good job. Now, let's face it, he did not do as well as Divine did in the original.
Okay,
because Divine was just divine.
Yeah.
But he did really well.
That's good.
Oh, check this out. We don't get to talk about this sort of thing very much. If you're not into music, if you're into, say, cars a little more. This Saturday, July 1st, starting at 7:30, Vado Speedway Park, they're going to be doing a race night. So let's see. What are we going to have?
If you haven't gone out to see the races at Vado, you got to. It is.
I would suggest you bring some earplugs just in case, because it can get a little loud out there.
Get a little loud.
And if you're not used to it, yeah.
I love it though.
But yeah, oh God, I want to go out. They're going to be doing the sprint cars.
Those things are so amazing.
They're very cool.
Fast.
The big thing,
the wing sprints.
Yeah,
with a big wing on top, man. Those things are just amazing.
See, the big thing is, you've now got races that Fast and the Furious made them really popular too. Drift racing.
Yeah.
Well, before drift racing, there were the sprint cars, the Outlaws.
They've been doing it ever since.
And they're awesome because most of the time they're going around this track, but their nose is pointed almost to the center of the track the whole time they're hitting it, and those wheels are going like, it's very cool to see. Of course, we got the farmers market going on every Saturday, starting at 8:30.
That's been fun.
Yeah.
We went the last couple of weeks, and just last time we went, let's just go walk. And we had the first time, like a few weeks ago, we specifically wanted to get something, at one particular vendor. But then last night, let's just go walk, and it was a blast. It's great. Everybody bringing their dogs out, so you get to stop and say hello to a lot of dogs.
Yeah. If you're looking for something a little more outdoorsy, Oregon Mountains, they're doing the Horned Lizard Hike. This is sponsored by the New Mexico Herpetology Society.
Oh, wow.
As part of the 2023 Horned Lizard BioBlitz. The society is going to be leading hikes to find horned lizards, bring plenty of water and sunscreen. Nina Dropcho will lead this hike. The target species here are round-tail horned lizards and Texas horned lizards. What we used to call horny toads back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. We'll be meeting at the pullout for the Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument sign off of Dripping Springs Road. All finds will be entered into a contest they're doing out there. You must join these two projects, the Horned Lizard BioBlitz and the Horned Lizard BioBlitz New Mexico. That could be kind of cool.
That would be really cool.
I don't do
hikes.
I don't do hikes much these days.
It sounds like fun.
Anything else? I'm looking to see. There we go. Friday Jams at Sparky's this Friday, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Jamie O'Hara is going to be out there playing.
Yeah.
And that may be everything. I'm checking real quick. Checking. Because usually about the time I go through all this stuff, I find what's going on at Icebox and Hatch, although I'm not seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
Ice House. I keep saying Icebox. I've said Icebox my entire life now. Yeah, that looks like about it. Okay. So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely want to make it out to Ali Shea's open mic tonight at TRC Brewing if you're able to. It's so much fun, and it's a totally different crowd.
Yeah.
For the most part, I didn't know anybody, which was cool. We've talked about Hawk, but we've never gotten out to hear him. Neither of us have. Never seen him around. He was out there, and I got to meet the guy, and he's a blast. He is the nicest guy in the world.
That's cool. Your turn.
Oh, okay. Fine.
I know you.
I don't know.
You gotta have something picked out.
I've been working on a new one.
Okay, cool.
Don't know if I'm ready to play it, but I might as well try it.
There you go.
So, who was this? You have one of those days you're just like, I don't play a lot by the New Country Guys.
Right.
But I found this song I love by Cole Swindle called Break Up in the End. Hope I can do it okay. I still walk in that bar a little drunk. I still ask you what you're drinking, what's your name. I still kiss you by the shuffleboard. Let's call it 2 a.m. Even though we break up in the end. I'll introduce you to my mom and dad. Say I think I love her when you leave that room. I still not take their advice when I say they're moving in, even though we break up in the end. Even though I knew you'd be the one that got away, I'd still go back and get you. Even though I knew you'd be my best and worst mistake, I'd still make it with you over and over, again and again, even though we break up in the end. I'd still play you my favorite song. I'd still play. There we go again. I'd still play my favorite song in your car. Let you love me to it till it felt like ours. Now all I hear is you in it, but I'd still let you ruin it, even though we break up in the end. Even though I knew you'd be the one that got away, I'd still go back and get you. Even though I knew you'd be my best and worst mistake, girl, I'd still make it with you over and over, again and again, even though we break up in the end. You've just had one too many tonight. You're just calling 'cause you're lonely, that's okay. But you know if you come over, can I let you in, even though we'll break up in the end? I do it over and over, again and again, even though we break up in the end.
Nice. Very nice.
See, you don't hate all country.
No.
It's been kind of our ongoing little banter thing.
Oh yeah.
And we've been
Do
doing
that
it
a lot.
on stage when we played together. And there's been some people who've taken it up, says yeah, apparently he really hates country. And it's like, well, he thinks he does.
Yeah.
But I keep finding songs like, hey, check this out. And you're like, I like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
that's
I like
country.
when you do it. I like when you do it.
There you go. Now, I'm messing with some stuff, including one that we listened to when the day it came out, like an hour
Yeah.
afterwards. And we both decided that this would be a cool one to do. Hailstorm and Ashley McBride together. And great song called Terrible Things. And I've been working on that one, so we're getting closer. Plus, I'm working on a song that once it's ready, I can't wait. And hopefully David at Picacho Peak will be there the night that I decided to play it the first time, because he has gotten up and played. He used to play with a band. He's a drummer.
Yeah.
Was a drummer, is going to be a drummer again. He's getting back into it. And he has actually gotten up at open mic a couple times, and one of the songs that he wrote, a country-esque sort of song, and called No One Drives My Truck But Me. And it's so wrong.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly wrong. And I was listening to this, I was like, man, this is I want to try this. So what he didn't realize is the first night he got up there and did it, I didn't do the video because he would have seen that and it would have freaked him out. I just turned on my audio recorder. I had my phone sitting there and I recorded the whole thing. So I've been playing with it to see what I can do with it. He's like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Very cool.
And maybe we'll get him up there to do some more stuff, because he's kind of, I think it helps. The last time that they did an open mic there, I think he was bartender at the time, and they had him get on and do and run open mic, which was still kind of rough on him. Now he's main bartender, he's manager over there, and they wanted and they were wanting an open mic. He's like, I can't do all of that. There's just no way. So that's when they contacted me about coming in. And I think him being exposed to that and all the music and all the different people out there, I think he's kind of getting that bug again.
Oh, it happens.
Plus, his kids are showing interest in music.
Yeah.
He's got a couple kids that are interested in drums. He's got one kid that's interested in guitar. We'll see what happens. I gave him a cheapy nothing guitar that I've been waiting to find somebody who was maybe curious to give that away, because it's a not a great guitar,
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It was $50 online when I ordered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. If you do one of those, the first thing you do, pull the strings off, because it comes with metal strings, steel
Yeah.
strings. You don't want that. You want to put nylon strings because there's nothing to brace that thing.
Yeah.
Um,
It's amazing how they sell guitars and then they put steel strings on it and you notice that the neck bends.
yeah. Well, in this case, and I was looking, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with this. There's no truss rod. You can't adjust the neck.
Yeah.
It's just a real basic thing. But I was noticing because I tightened it up a little bit to get close to the sounds, and the B string was clunky, and I couldn't figure out why. I'm looking at the neck, I'm looking at everything looks right, but I went ahead and just loosened it up. I was like, yeah, I got to put some nylon strings. I just went ahead and gave it to him, told him what he needed to do. He's like, yeah, I'll get the strings. Don't worry about that. And Damian Luna came out, and I didn't even think to look over there. He's looking down at the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole area, it's coming up from the wood. It's broken loose.
It's
and I'm like, oh,
blowing up. Yeah.
Cool. So I told him, says, get in there, sand inside there a little bit, and lay in some good wood glue. Gorilla Glue is really good for that. It'll go ahead and firm that up, and it'll connect. And once you put nylon strings on it, there's not enough force with nylon strings. It'll be a decent little guitar to try on. It's very small. Yeah. That's when I had the idea that, oh, my fingers are too fat to play guitar, because that's the first guitar I got a hold of to mess with. And no.
And that's before you realize there were different types of guitars and different.
Yeah. And that was the first time I tried to learn guitar. I just bought this thing online, and then I had a book. That's the time. There was no YouTube yet.
Oh no.
It was a while back. It was back in the Stone Age.
Back in the day when we didn't have YouTube, we had to look at books. We had
back
to rely
in
on our memory.
Back in my day, if you wanted to change the channel, you got up and did click, 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 click. It's like,
no, my house, we had a voice activated remote.
Yeah, it was you, wasn't it?
BJ, get up and change the channel.
So yeah, my ex, she would tell the story. Her dad was a manipulative little shit,
to put it mildly.
So he turned it into a game. He actually made her, out of a sheet of tinfoil, a hat. She would wear that hat, and he would call her Remote. And if she was somewhere else in the house and he wanted the channel change, he'd yell, Remote. She'd come running in, put her hat on. Yes, Daddy, change the channel. And she'd go through and change the channel until he found something he wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Like,
and then,
okay.
Yeah, you had to go up there and change the channel, and you click, click, click. And then you waited. Now, but at the time, it didn't take very long, because we were in LA. We had 7 channels in LA.
Ooh, smart ass.
So we had a little bit, a few more to go through. But thing is, you only watched like 4 of them. But still, it was like we had 3, the ABC, NBC, CBS, and then we had the locals. And but yeah, you had to stand there and wait until you figured out what was on.
Well, we had 4 channels on the clicker.
Yeah.
But our TV was fancy. We had another set where you could sit there and turn this little inside knob for UHF TV
channels.
Yeah.
And then you get
nobody knows what UHF is anymore.
Yeah, because you had to, there were what, 80 channels on that dial, but yet you only got like, depending on where you were, you only got like 4.
Yeah.
I remember flipping through and I got a Japanese channel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I got to see the Power Rangers way back when it was originally done.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe what UHF was at the time, think of it as a television version of pirate radio.
Yeah, very good. That's
I mean, they were licensed, but they weren't really licensed.
Yeah, it was different. But yeah, oh gosh, that's going back. Now you can sit there all night and forget, what was I gonna watch?
Yeah, if you want an idea of what UHF was like, it's not a documentary, but it might as well be. There's a movie called UHF with Weird Al Yankovic. And some of the aspects of that, it's like, that's UHF TV. That was huge, and it's pretty well done. It's pretty well gone now.
I was watching that movie with 2 of my kids, and Catherine, my oldest daughter, was in the other room. It was like a good half hour in, I paused the movie, and we're all screaming out, Catherine, get out here. It's like, what? We have to watch this dumb movie, so do you.
I love that movie.
Cult classic is what you could describe it as.
The best part of that movie, Raul's Wild Kingdom. Today we're gonna teach poodles how to fly, and he's like on a third floor apartment, and he just takes this poodle and throws it out the window. You hear arp, 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 and then boom. And he says, sometimes it takes them a few times to get it right. And it shows outside the window, there's a pile of poodles outside his window.
See what I mean? It was
so wrong.
quirk. Oh yeah, it was wrong. But yep.
By the way, it gave birth to a new food sensation, the Twinkie Wiener sandwich. Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
Okay.
You don't want to know how much of that movie I can actually quote from memory without the movie even on, by the way.
Oh man.
Oh, it was so cool. And yeah, we'd get together, friends of mine would get together and hang out and drink and watch that movie. Or to tell you the time period, or we'd watch Beavis and Butthead.
See, when you're with guys your own age and you can sit there and say a line and everybody will start laughing.
Yeah.
I work with a bunch of 20s. Girls that are like barely in the early 20s. So it's like I have all these things that come to mind and I can't say nothing because they just look at me like, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's like
well, I've done that. I'll make some remark and it's based on something pop culture because we grew up as part of the TV generation. So we were exposed to a lot of that. But at the same time, now you just sit there and it's stuff you would normally just do. You just say it, and you make some reference line to something pop culture, and then somebody, especially younger, will respond to you, and next thing you know, they're talking something serious. They have no idea what your reference is.
Yeah.
And there's a little piece of you that dies inside every time that happens. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I just got an email.
Okay.
It's a site that I followed because I was kind of curious. They had a little free booklet if you go on their mailing list. Of course, they've got a bunch of courses that they want to charge for. It's a songwriting group put together by Graham English. Okay, I feel like I need to go off on a little bit of a rant.
Oh, here we go.
This is a pet peeve of mine.
Okay,
he's got a new piece up. Greetings. Songwriting can be a lonely process, right? No, it's mainly a solo process, but it doesn't have to be lonely, whether you're doing it by yourself or with other people. Well, what if you could collaborate with an AI to create unique and compelling lyrics?
Oh,
then I'm going to have to take myself out in the backyard and kick my own ass.
No.
Uncover 5 ways you can use ChatGPT to push the boundaries of your songwriting. It's a whole book on using ChatGPT for lyric writing. I would say never do that.
If you want to do that just to make something and
maybe to have a starting point.
Yeah, I don't know. But when you're writing, it's about finding the words that are trying to express what you're feeling, thinking, expressing, it's finding that.
And if you're just putting stuff into one of these AIs, maybe you're going to get something that's going to trigger you, but then put the damn thing away and write.
Exactly.
Otherwise you're going to end up with some real horrible crap. Plus effect, you never know when you're going to get in trouble. There was a case here recently in the news. A lawyer that was preparing a case. It was a civil lawsuit case, and he decided to shortcut it. He actually wasn't licensed in that state, so he was preparing everything so this other lawyer could come in and argue the case. Well, they had this brief that he made up, and instead of sitting there and doing the work himself, he decided to put it through ChatGPT. And in the course of this brief, there are several court cases that are mentioned in this brief. They submit it to the court. Judge gets a hold of him and says, I want to see you guys in my chambers a few days later. And he says, what is this? He says, I took a look at the court cases that you're citing here. I can't find them. Couldn't find them because they didn't exist.
Oh, no.
ChatGPT extrapolates. So it's not sitting there and doing research for you. Uh, it's not a smart thing. It's an extrapolator. It actually created court cases that didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
And these lawyers came this close to being disbarred over the whole
Wow.
thing. So I would say stay the hell clear of
Yeah.
this thing.
I remember a friend of mine
Mm,
that I used to perform with when she started writing. She said that a songwriter, if a true songwriter, the only references they should have is a dictionary and a thesaurus.
yes.
That's all you need.
Actually, I do use a site that it gives you a bunch of different rhyming. You put in
Mhm.
a word and it'll give you a whole bunch of stuff, and
Yeah,
and not even direct, but
it's electronic thesaurus as well.
yeah, basically, yeah,
Because
it's
this
just a
is
lot
we're
faster.
talking back in '94.
Hmm. And that's always a good thing to
Yeah,
have, because especially if you've got a word in your mind but you can't quite bring it out of your brain.
right.
I know what it is and it's similar to this. I'll type it in that way,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like,
how you
oh, there's the
find.
word. Yeah.
Yeah, you find words like that. But I remember she said that she goes, other than that, although a friend of mine did, there was one guitar player that when I was trying to write lyrics, he said, start reading poems, start reading Walt Whitman. And he mentioned
Yes.
a bunch of writers. You could just read that to get a sense of the stories, the vocabulary, the
Word
word. And he goes,
usage. Yeah.
you would learn a lot from that. Not that I was going to get my songs off of that, but to learn how to put words together.
Yeah.
That's what he was. There are so many different ways you can do it, but to put it in
And
and get something,
and that's true for any kind of a writer.
yeah,
I knew a guy that horrible guy in so many levels, but he fancied himself a writer. He actually had a he had a published novel.
oh
It was published because he paid for everything for it to be published and
yeah,
distributed. Yeah, but at one point when I found out he was a writer, I was like, oh, okay, well, who do you read? Who inspires you? Oh, I don't read. I write my own stuff. Oh, and yeah, I got he gave me a copy of his book. I read this thing and it was the worst piece of garbage I've ever read. Um, if you're a writer of any kind, read. Always read. And don't always just read stuff that you're comfortable with.
mhm,
Poetry.
yeah.
Yeah, Whitman. Um,
That's the first one he mentioned. He mentioned a few others, but for some reason, that's the one I remember.
yeah,
But
Whitman's a big one.
yeah,
Maya Angelou is really good. And if you can find some of the '70s beat poets,
mhm,
oh my God, the things they did with language and with words uh, fits really differently and weird,
mhm.
and it'll wake you up to, oh, anything goes. And it kind of makes it a little easier for you to figure out, well, maybe I want to try that, maybe I want to try this, and you incorporate that into what you're doing and make it yours. And it's a really important part of the writing process, no matter what you're writing. I don't trust anybody who says they don't read anything, they don't consume whatever media they're putting out. The only exception that I found is a band called Within Temptation, um, and I don't believe her. I think she's lying. The lead singer for that band was asked in an interview, "What bands inspired you?" And she's like, "Nobody." Says, "I don't really listen to much. I don't listen to music." And I
Mhm,
was like, "Yeah, no, you're too good. You listen. You just don't want to
mhm.
admit it."
Yeah,
It's not a bad thing. It's not
no.
like I'm stealing, I'm plagiarizing. No, you're taking all this in, and it helps you grow as an artist. They just had the Ed Sheeran case that got finished out because they tried to get him for
Mhm.
copyright infringement. It's like, no.
It's neat when you hear, like, I remember listening to Ace Frehley talk about a song that he wrote, and he said, "Yeah, I kind of ripped off the riff from," and he apologized to the guy who he ripped it off from, and I listened to the song too, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of hear, and but he went to the guy and said, "Look, I'm sorry, I ripped off your riff," and he played it for him, and he goes, "That's not mine." He goes,
Yeah.
"No, but I ripped. This is what," and he played. He goes, "Okay," and I thought the same thing. Like it kind of, it's like you got guys like that. They look at it and say, "Oh, I totally got this idea from this." You know,
Oh yeah.
it's just really cool because you get the influences. I remember listening to a band. We were in LA, and the band I was in was going around, promoting ourselves, and we listened to this one band, and we're like, "Oh, they were so Dishwalla fans." I didn't really know Dishwalla that well. It was an old band. Never mind if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it was like you could hear it plainly. There was not an influence. There was a total. They really pulled that off. I was like, wow.
yeah. But
Try to make it your own, dude.
but at the same time, you'll hear stuff that nobody else hears. You were working on a song and you were telling me.
Oh, that's right.
Says no. I had to get away from that because it sounded like Wanted Dead or Alive, and you played it for me, and it's like I don't hear it at all.
Yeah, I will say like what I had to stop because it sounded like I heard Dead or Alive. Like, I can't do that. So,
Yeah.
But he said no, it's not. I'm like, all right. So
Yeah, and the
try
thing
it
is, you'd be surprised how many people are cool with a little bit of
Yeah.
homaging. I'm watching a documentary series right now called The Center Chair. It's on the history of Star Trek, and it's all of Star Trek, starting from the very beginning on up. And they were talking about Star Trek Voyager. It was the first female captain. Well, the first female captain heading up a show. And they had this character. They named her Catherine Janeway. And the original name was Elizabeth Janeway. But they did some research, and there's a writer, Elizabeth Janeway, really good writer. The big book that she's known for is a book called The Walsh Girls. So they says, we can't use that name. She's too prolific. We don't want to get caught up in this. So they changed it to Catherine Janeway. Well, years later, one of the writers apparently got to meet Elizabeth Janeway, told her this story. Says, yeah, we almost named the character after you. It's just then we found out, that you were around. So we changed the name, and this gal got upset. She's like, oh, she got disappointed. Says, I would have loved if you'd used my name. That would have been so cool. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So be aware that your reaction to what you think other people are going to react to may not be accurate.
There was a story years ago when Lady Gaga came out with the song Born This Way. 2 days later, after she released the song, a video comes out. This girl who's like 9 or 10, she plays it on her keyboard and sings it beautifully. Nailed it. And it went viral. So the local radio station had her come on and talk about it. Lady Gaga called in and I'm sitting there going, and you think, what are they going to think when Lady Gaga was like telling her that was the most amazing thing she'd heard. It made her producer or manager came and said, you got to hear this. Played it for her. And she goes, it made my day. She goes, I really was not having a good day, but you made my day. She actually brought the girl out to one of her concerts and let her watch from the side. But after she did the song Born This Way, she goes, I want to do another version of the song. She brings the girl out to do it right there on stage. Now, she has a big piano. The girl had to sit on Lady Gaga's lap because she couldn't reach the pedals for the piano, and had the girl play. It was like, those reactions are cool because you never know what you're going to do, how you're going to influence somebody else. But I thought it was really cool because so many of the, please don't play that, take that down, that's copyright infringement, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you see some people do that. You see other people who don't, and I think there's more people who don't. I saw a YouTube video a while back. It was one of these reaction videos, but as a company, they brought in Billie Eilish, and they had her watch videos of people online covering her music. And Billie Eilish is very eccentric. Her music is mainly very dark, and you kind of get an idea of the sort of person she's going to be. She was over the moon listening to these different versions. She was so excited, and says it's so cool. It's my song, but it's not my song, and it's different, and they're doing this, and this is very cool. And one of them was BTS that got on there and did a song. She's like, that's awesome, I've never heard that. She was just loving everything she heard. There are two types of songwriters apparently that I've come across so far, because I've come across a few that I've mentioned. So and so's gonna do a version of my song, and they'll be like, really, you'd let somebody else do one of your songs? I don't think I could do that. I was like, why not? I love the idea of it.
I went to a Neil Diamond concert, and he wrote a song way back in the 70s called Wine. And it wasn't a huge hit. It was one of his deeper cuts. And UB40, he's in the concert, and he says, so a while ago, I got contacted by a band called UB40, and they asked if they could cover my song Wine. He thought, yeah, sure, go ahead. Didn't think much of it. It became a huge hit. It was Red, Red Wine. It was a huge hit for them. He
At
goes,
least some people like that song.
yeah, and it was a huge hit. I thought it was okay. I didn't realize it was Neil Diamond's song
Mhm.
cover, but it was still, after that, I kind of listened to it. It was okay. I kind of liked it because it had a different feel to it. But he said it was a bigger hit than I wrote, that was for me. And since I got such a big check from it, we're gonna do he did the UB40 version in his concert.
Yeah.
Including the red wine you make me feel. He did that too.
Uh-huh.
The crowd went nuts. But he was like, it was fun, but he thought it was really cool. He's like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Mhm.
And he thought it was he did that version in his concert. That was how much and he did make fun of it, going, yeah, well, the check I got, hey, I'm gonna do their version.
There you go. Yeah. I think it's the difference between being a singer who writes songs and being a songwriter.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I like playing.
Yeah.
I like getting up in front of people and performing. I do. Given a choice, I probably would not be sharing my music like I do, but I don't really have a choice. It's more of a compulsion than anything. It's stuff that I've just got to get it out there. But I would be very, very happy to have somebody say, on some Nashville record label say, "Ooh, I want to record this song. Here's some money."
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty.
I would be good with that.
Yeah, we're at that point.
I wouldn't mind at some point being the guy that sits around writing songs more than anything else.
Yeah. I remember the story about the Hollies. Graham Nash and one of the guys was asked by a producer, look, do me a favor. I got this friend. He's got a son who writes a bunch of music. Can you do me a favor and kind of just go over there and listen to his music and let you know what you think? It's for me, And I said, yeah, sure. We'll go over there. And the mom made dinner and everything for them. It was a nice little thing. And the kid starts playing the song, and he plays a song that he wrote because he liked this girl that he saw at the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay. And they listen to it. They look at each other and go, do that again. It became one of the Hollies' biggest hits, Bus Stop.
Yeah.
A 14-year-old kid wrote that. It was like, okay. And they're like, got anything else? They covered, they took 3 or 4 of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
That kid made a lot of money by the time he was 15. Because they put it on the album, and Bus Stop was one. I do that song.
Yeah.
It's one of their biggest songs. So, but I just thought it was funny. You never know where these songs, this backstory of the way some of these songs get created is just hilarious. It's funny how Bus Stop is a great song written by a 14-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And the thing is, what if he'd sat there and said, no, this is my song?
Oh, yeah. Well, the idea was
everything that would have changed.
Yeah. Well, the kid wrote it and wanted them to, he was hoping that's what he was hoping for, because he was not an entertainer. He did not he couldn't really sing that well. So he wanted, he was stage fright.
Yeah.
Although later on he started doing, his songs became popular. So he started going out and doing small shows, playing his songs, which it became great. It was really cool.
Oh yeah.
There's a YouTube video of him playing it, saying, I wrote this when I was 14. It's about a girl I fancied from the bus stop, and the Hollies recorded it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, it takes all different sorts. I keep going back in my mind to one of my favorites is Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Roy Orbison had no interest in actually singing in front of people. He was so incredibly shy.
Yeah.
He was a songwriter. But the thing is, he does what I do. He writes songs by playing and singing them. So all the songs were set in his vocal range. His vocal range is not normal.
No.
They couldn't find it. People loved his songs, but they'd pass on them because they couldn't sing them in that range.
And then if you change the key, it doesn't sound the same. It doesn't sound as good sometimes.
So yeah, he basically had to go in and record this stuff because nobody else could. By the way, Pretty Woman, the little growl he does, it took multiple takes for him to get that out of him because he was so shy he didn't want to do it. And then he becomes this major performer and star. And by the way, not movie star, but he starred in movies. They were horrible. Loved them. Oh yeah, he starred in several westerns.
Oh yeah.
He had a guitar where the neck turned into a rifle. It was so schlocky, and I loved every minute.
That's funny.
You'll find that I like a dumb movie. I
Yeah.
love a dumb movie, and if it's a B movie, oh god, yes.
Uh-huh.
I just one of these days we're gonna have to just have I'm gonna have some friends over, and we're just gonna watch some bad movies.
There we go.
Even though it was a high budget movie, I recently watched Cocaine Bear. Great
Oh.
movie. Great movie.
Really?
It's the thing is, when I say they're dumb, what I mean is you can shut your brain off and just
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that. I'm sorry, I don't like big cerebral period pieces. You're never going to come over here and, oh, pardon me, I was just watching Downton Abbey. That's not going to happen. But you might come over and says, what's that in the background? Oh, I was watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was watching The Crawling Eye.
Yeah, okay.
I just recently watched Studio 666.
Oh man.
Dumb stuff where you can just sit there and enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you need that. I write too much political stuff,
Mhm.
and I'm too immersed in too much political stuff. I really need to shut my brain off at times and just enjoy something silly.
Yeah, that's fun.
And of course, I'm a huge nerd, so especially a Star Trek nerd. So they just started the new season of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, and I've been loving that. So yeah, anything to get your mind off of this.
Yeah. Some of the girls at work, I went to make a comment about something, and I was like, you guys wouldn't get it. And I said, you ever seen the movie Blazing Saddles? And one girl goes, I've heard of it. And I go, so I'm probably going to get smacked one of these days because they are going to see it. They're going to come in and go, why?
Maybe, or maybe they're going to love it.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
I love watching the reaction videos. There's like Black people that watch that video on YouTube, watch some of those because they love it. They think it's hilarious.
Oh yeah. And of course, it's got Hedy Lamarr in it.
Yes.
Hedley.
There was one where there was these 4 Black guys watching Blazing Saddles, and for some stupid reason, the scene, excuse me, while I whip this out, they had to pause, and they all fell off their chairs laughing.
Oh yeah.
They had one guy had to pause it, and they just were laughing so hard they fell off their chairs. It was just, it's some of those silly things you think that are offensive. Now everything's offensive, but man,
we're getting away from that.
There were things I saw in that movie 10 years later that I like. Oh,
yeah. Well, they did a poll here about a year ago.
Yeah.
And they interviewed people. And by the way, people of all political slants,
Mhm.
and they divided them out.
Yeah.
One of the questions you had to ask is, where do you line up politically? And part of it was party affiliation, but part of it was also trying to get an idea of where they are on the spectrum of politics. And didn't matter where you were on that deal.
Mhm.
People across the board were sick to death of the whole politically correct thing.
Yes.
Having to watch what you say.
Yes.
Because, you don't know from one day to the next. And it's not just, from one day to the next, you can't say that anymore. It's, well, you said that before, so now you're in trouble, even when it was okay before.
Yeah.
And people are getting sick of that. And you're seeing a lot more. I think you're going to see and you've seen a little bit of it. You're going to see the resurgence of comedies and movies coming out.
Yeah,
of course,
I hope so.
Bert Kreischer's The Machine is out in theaters.
Yeah.
Which looks awesome.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence has a new movie coming out that looks so good, so funny. She's already gotten in trouble with some people for it because it's very politically incorrect. It's probably the most profane character she's ever played.
Mm.
And it looks funny as hell.
Yeah, it's like,
and it's based on a true news story that her and the guy was writing it. They read this news story years back, and they're like, "Wouldn't this make a great movie?" Well, he sat down and wrote it. And as soon as she found out that he'd finished it, she's like, "I want to be a part of this." And it's basically, and this has happened a few times apparently. This mom and dad, their son was very sheltered and very socially awkward, and they put out an ad in the paper looking for someone to date their son.
Oh my god.
So they made a movie about this, and it looks hilarious. But yeah, very bad taste.
Yeah.
I think that for our humor, we need to get back to more bad taste humor, because there's something about being able to slaughter our sacred cows that make us better.
Yeah.
And yeah, anything that Mel Brooks did, and Blazing Saddles is a big one, and it's interesting. I wasn't terribly surprised. I know a lot of people were, because there've been a lot of these people who react to videos online, especially if they're black people. People have been pushing them to watch Blazing Saddles. They want to see their reaction, because the N-word is through that movie like crazy, and they figure, oh, it'll be cool to see him get offended. No, maybe they get offended, maybe they get a little freaked out at first, but then they figure out what he's doing with it, and everything strips. People are smarter than you want to give them credit for.
Yeah, and everybody catches it that it's only used by the bigots. You know, it's like,
used. The word is in there, especially Blazing Saddles. It's so prolific in that movie. It's used so much that the bite of that word goes away as you're watching the movie. You reach a point, it's like that's funny. And there's a certain point, and they pretty well stop using the word. Mel Brooks did what he needed to with it. Yeah. He used it as a tool. And he pointed out the stupidity of people who put stock in that word, and he took some of the bite out of it. And I think that's a great thing. And comedy has to be able to do that.
Yeah, because in order for something to be funny, it makes fun of something.
Yes.
It pokes fun at something in order for a joke. Every joke pokes fun at something.
And humor, I can't even tell you. I've been in so many political discussions that I've thrown humor at somebody.
Yeah.
And because they are so caught up, and by the way, left and right both do it. They're so caught up in their thing, and they're so humorless about it, and they miss the joke, and then they look stupid. Comedy is great for making people who need to take a step back, make them look stupid. And sometimes you need to do that a little bit.
I just thought it was funny at the time, and then it wasn't funny when Ronald Reagan was doing. He goes, "My fellow Americans,
oh God,
I have signed legislation that would outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes," and walked off the stage. Oh, everybody's laughing, they're joking. Oh, Russia went on high alert.
Yes, yes.
NORAD went nuts.
But everybody else over here, we got it. We got the joke.
To the audio clip, you could hear everybody laughing.
Oh yeah,
and you could see his face. We began bombing in 5 minutes, and he walked away. I thought that was hilarious because it was a joke, but it set off all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember that. There are videos online. The humor of Ronald Reagan and some of the jokes he made were just insanely great.
He was a really good actor too, because there was a couple of movies I saw.
Man.
There was one movie I saw. He played a Grover Cleveland Alexander. Great story of a baseball player, and he was a big sports fan. So and he was a sports broadcaster for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. But he. You gotta lighten up.
Yeah, you really do. One of the greatest things about and I don't care if you like these guys or not. George W. Bush.
Yeah.
You know what his favorite show was while he was in the White House? It was a show that was put together by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park. It was a show that was on Comedy Central called "That's My Bush."
Oh,
and they had this impersonator come on, really good George W. Bush impersonator, and the show was mercilessly making fun of him. And somebody asked him about the show and says, "Oh, it's my favorite show. I never miss an episode. I think it's funny as hell." And I was like, okay, that's a healthy way to look at that stuff.
He was different because we just watched the first episode of NCIS from season 1. We started that one again. And they had an impersonator because there was a death that happened on Air Force One, and the guy they had impersonating was really good, and he was just such a country boy, down home, said hi to everybody. It was nice. He said, "Did you get the barbecue I asked for?" And he goes, "Yes, sir." He goes, "I want it in 5 minutes." It's just like,
oh yeah,
I want that on my desk in 5 minutes, that kind of thing. And it was just the way he was acting. A lot of people thought he was an idiot.
But if you listen to him, not so much.
Yeah.
No, the guy that played him in That's My Bush. One of the best things I think that they ever do is the the journalism dinner that they do,
Mhm.
and it's basically they're making jokes. They're you know, at their own
Yeah.
expense. They're joking about their opponents. And George W. He was president. He came out to one of these, and he came out with this guy, and they riffed back and forth between each
Oh
other. It was like
man,
it was so
that's
good.
funny. It's neat when you get people that you miss that. I miss that, and I hope we're getting back to that because I think I forgot what it was. I knew that I was done when I heard a political. There were mock. I don't. It was somebody that I'm not a fan of at all. And then they were getting on him about something he said, and I was like, "Well, that's." And then they said it was like 15 years ago. I'm like, "Okay, come on."
Oh yeah,
Even I don't like the guy, but I'm still like, "Come on." It was a different time 15 freaking years ago. It's like sometimes they're getting on people that, well, you said this 20 years ago. Now all of a sudden you're saying this. Change their mind. They have a different view now.
oh yeah.
Let it go. Let them,
But no, we've got some, and those aren't really comedies for the most part.
Yeah.
We've got more comedies that are starting to show up.
Yeah.
By the way, one of the movies that I find myself, I'm embarrassed to admit it,
Uh-huh.
but I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
What's
I'm
that?
a big Margot Robbie fan anyway.
Margot Robbie.
Harley Quinn.
Oh, right. Okay.
She's starring in a new movie about to come out,
Okay.
and it looks funny. It looks cute. Barbie. Yeah. And yeah, she's playing Barbie. They got a guy playing Ken, and it looks funny. At one point she's like, yeah, something's changed. They're having a dance party, and all the Barbies are dancing, carrying on. This is so great. This is the best life. And she says, have you guys ever contemplated death? And everybody just stops and stares. Well, she wakes up and she says, I don't know what happened. Says my heels are touching the ground, and they're like flat feet. They're just screaming. She goes to this wise woman apparently, and she's like, well, you got a choice. Says either, and she's holding up a pair of high heels. Says you can go back to the way you were, and she holds up a pair of like Birkenstock sandals. Says, or you can discover who you really are. You can delve into the depth of things. She says that, and she reaches for the high heels. Says, I want that, and she says, no, you're supposed to choose this. Try again. It looks like a cute movie and funny.
That looks fun.
We haven't had too many comedies, and yes, I love all the superhero movies. We need some more laughs.
Yeah, we do.
Of course, we're gonna get that because we have a little bit. I got to see recently the Shazam movie.
Oh, okay.
Really cute and funny, and coming to theaters soon. Do we have a date for that? Oh, we have a date finally. May of 2024. The new Deadpool movie is coming out.
Oh.
With everybody, apparently. It won't just be Wolverine. Hugh Jackman is coming back as Wolverine. One Wolverine. They're going to have several Wolverines. They're going to have several incarnations of all the X-Men. And if you've never seen a Deadpool movie, unless you're a little kid, don't watch it. Anybody else, it's so funny and so good. And I think we kind of need that whole laughing. Yeah, basically, anything with Ryan Reynolds is a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool. We're going to see a bunch of humor come back in, and damn, we need it. We desperately need it. There are some days that I go through the news and I just want to walk off a pier.
Oh yeah. Oh,
where'd Randy go? He was headed that way, and then I watched his head bob under the water, and he just never came up.
Oh man.
Okay, well, we made it to the end of the show.
We did,
and we talked a bunch of crap about nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, for
joining us and
going back and forth with us online. That's awesome.
We should bring both of them in one day.
Oh yeah,
that would be fun.
Oh yeah, we'll never get anything done that show.
Yeah. We don't know where that one will go.
And just so you know, if you're watching us live, we do this every Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
8
a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah, we're not that long of a show. But there is a chat feature if you're watching
Yeah.
live, so you can
Say
comment.
hi. Do something.
It becomes
Yeah.
a comment feature afterwards,
Yeah.
but it's a chat feature
Yeah.
while you're live. And I've got the screen right here. We can see when stuff
Yeah.
comes up, and as you see, we'll respond to you.
Absolutely.
So if you happen to be watching live, yeah, comment. Let us know you're out there,
Yeah.
and make some smart ass remark. We like those. We're smart asses at heart. So
Yeah, absolutely.
and in reality and on every level.
Mhm.
So anyway, once
Okay.
again, if you happen to be in town tonight, I head out to TRC Brewing
Yes.
for Allie's open mic.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast. And then tomorrow night is open mic over at Picacho Peak.
Yes.
I'll be running the thing, and you never know who's going to show up.
Yeah.
Last week, Damian Luna came out, and we ended up jamming a lot of the night.
I got on Cajon,
and we'd never done that.
Yeah.
We never sung before together.
Yeah.
And I was playing Cajon with him for a little bit, and he went to do one song. I says, "Hold on a minute." I went and grabbed the mic and put it on the second stand and started singing with him. And he's like, "This is cool."
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So you never know what's going to happen, and it's a real loose format thing. So yeah, you never know what we're going to do, especially if we've got a lighter night with not as many performers.
Yeah,
we screw around a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll see you guys next week.
Have a great week.
And I guess that means bye.
Bye. That was